So first.
Absolutely.
And I was like,
let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar.
Yes. And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast. And today we have a very special guest. But before Meredith does our intro, I'm just going to remind you to check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, Meredith, to you.
Okay, our next guest is one of the smartest women on TikTok, highlighting the nuances around reality TV and pop culture, from legal, racial, and interpersonal dynamics. Every video we see makes us pause, think, and absorb her wisdom. Welcome to the podcast, Chris.
That is
Yay!
So nice. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here. I'm obviously a huge fan of you guys. I've been listening to you since before I was a public defender. So
that's crazy.
Wait, that makes me so happy.
I was in like rural Colorado. The town that I was in is known for it's like having a really bad cow smell. And I remember I would listen to you guys as I was like driving to the jail. Like you guys have been in a jail with me.
Oh my God.
We
love true crime. So honestly, that kind of hits.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's so funny. People ask me all the time, like, okay, so you became a public defender. Did you listen to true crime while you were practicing? And I couldn't because it's suddenly
a little too much.
Like it just becomes so intense. Yeah, totally.
Well, I have to say that you have now topped. We have been told that we ran a marathon with someone. So now going to jail with you, even more iconic.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Love that.
Well, first, let's dive into your content first, because like I said in my intro, we are huge fans of it. I feel like I get to learn so much from you. I told you before we started recording that you like scratch an itch in my brain. That is the perfect intersection of legal and pop culture and just the nuances of life, especially POC and Black culture. So I want to ask first how you kind of started posting about this. What was the moment that you were like, I have to say something?
Yeah, that's so funny. And that's really nice of you. Thank you so much. So what it was I stopped being a public defender almost 2 years ago. And I moved back to Boston and I was just kind of like, sad and whatever. And I was watching, this is Tom Jones. I was watching Southern Charm, which I've been watching every Bravo show, like except for Below Deck, like forever. And Vanita was just being like, as usual, just like treated like a scapegoat. Yeah. And I was so enraged by the behavior. And I felt like, I think Bravo's audiences are largely white. And I do love, prior to making my own content, like I consumed a lot of content on TikTok, but also like Reddit, like reading anything because I love Bravo. And it's very inundated by like a singular kind of opinion, which is like this like white feminist perspective. And
1,000%.
I feel like no one could understand like what was going on with Vanita or like what was the dynamics of like a show set in the South. And I felt like enraged by it. So I decided to like make a video, and it was fun to talk to people in comments about it. Obviously you get like the usual trolls, but I'm used to that. I went to law school. And I just got into it, and then I just kept making it. And like Southern Charm, that season of Southern Charm, so not the most recent, but the one before that was like so ripe for conversation about race. And then, there are racial issues in everything, every show. And so I just kind of went from there.
It's crazy because I think Southern Charm is one of those shows where it's like so embedded because it's the South and like there aren't a lot of Black cast members and or like people of color in general. And it's mostly taken over by white men. So it's like always a really interesting conversation to have that we have all the time because it like enrages us, but we're not as great with our words as you are. So we just sound like angry about it and we just can't explain it as well.
You know what's
funny?
Yeah,
it's so pronounced on Southern Charm.
Totally. I also think that I've always been in like PWIs, predominantly white institutions. And so I feel like the dynamic on Southern Charm is very familiar to me. I think it's like I've very often been the only Black person in a room, not of my own volition. And Vanita seems like she can't, it's hard for her to speak up. And I'm sure it's like a very complicated situation. That's never been my experience. So I also think like being able to get online and be like, this is what's actually happening and kind of pointing it out in a way that it might be hard to do when you're actually filming, it feels important to me as well. So
your vulnerability and how much you share of your own life I appreciate it so much, just to get to know
God,
you
thank
as
you.
a person, but it's so much easier, I feel like, when you put a very specific person and name to a situation, it just humanizes it so much more. So your ability to be able to share your own life through that is so welcomed, and I so appreciate it.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I have a white mom. I have to talk about her, so.
Oh my God, fun. I have a white dad and a Latino mom, so you get half,
No, I love that. That's really fun too. And you also have a white mom.
I do.
Meredith.
Don't worry, I've got a white mom too. I don't know if that was known.
She's covered. We can all bond over our white parents.
So as you navigate posting online, what do you feel like the response is? You kind of mentioned the trolls. Is it heavily trolls that kind of end up in your comments and in your content? Or do you tend to see a lot of support, people learning? Kind of what's that like to engage with the people viewing it?
That's a really good question. So originally when I started posting, there was no kind of algorithmic kind of the algorithm didn't know what to do with me. So I did get a lot of trolls, a lot of crazy inflammatory people. But I really think being a public defender prepared me for that, because when you're a PD, your clients are the best, but everyone else hates you. The judge hates you, the prosecutor hates you, the jury hates you, literally everyone hates you. And I was the only Black attorney in a city of 100,000 people, so everyone hated me, and it was very conservative. So I'm very used to that dynamic, and so having trolls online is I feel less scary. It's not scary at all. But over time, as I got my footing, I think the algorithm puts me in in front of well-meaning white people and people of color. So I don't really get as many trolls. If I wade into a new topic that I've never talked about, I'll get a lot of weird DMs. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Yeah. Everyone's really supportive. And what's funny is you forget how many people you meet over your lifetime. And so all of the time I'll get DMs of someone I had met a really long time ago being oh my God, it's you. I'm oh my God, block me right now. Please block me. So it's
always weird to have someone who actually knows you in real life. I always tell people that it feels like a game online sometimes. I don't know these people who are watching my content, but then to have it be presented in front of someone who does know me, like you said, who I have met over my lifetime, it just kind of makes it more real.
Totally.
Can I ask, because you watch Southern Charm, have you dipped your toe in Southern hospitality? Because I think that's also a really interesting dynamic.
Thank you for asking, and you can ask me anything. I love Southern hospitality. So I took a while to get on the train, but I started watching maybe last year, and I think it feels like Southern hospitality is happening in an entirely different city, almost on an entirely different timeline, because that cast is largely of color, and they talk very there are queer cast members, and they're very open and celebrated. There doesn't seem to be as many obvious prejudices that people are dealing with, and so I think it's an easier watch for me.
Okay.
But I really like it. I love Southern Charm, even though it's so problematic. I just really love that show. So, it's horrible, but I love it. And actually, Craig Conover blocked me. And
that's incredible.
Though.
Congratulations.
Yeah, honestly, it's
I wish
that's
we would
on my
be
resume.
blocked. Oh, I wish he would block us.
Totally. So I think it's also fun to be Southern Charm is a guilty pleasure, but Southern hospitality feels everyone cares about other people and cares about civil rights and
more.
Stuff. Yeah, totally. I'm not waiting to
on the defense
thread.
Yeah,
totally.
I think it's also interesting when
hospitality.
As Bravo watchers who have been watching this for years, it's sometimes hard to give up some of these shows when they are so outwardly terrible too, because it's been 10 plus years of watching Southern Charm, and obviously it's always kind of been bad. We always saw Thomas Ravenel be a creepy person, but then the racial dynamics, which were always there, but when you see black cast members and people of color come onto the show and it be so overt, it's hard to let go some of these shows that we've been writing with for so long.
Totally. The craziest thing, do you remember when Caleb, the guy that Catherine was dating?
Yes.
And his last name was also Ravenel?
Ravenel.
And everyone was I wonder what that's about.
Oh
are
my
you
God.
kidding me?
Oh,
no, that was
that was so crazy because it was in 2020. Everybody should have been learning if you hadn't already. This
they
was
were all learning
at the forefront.
The pain I went through watching those cast members try to figure it out.
I really like Andy Cohen for the most part. I follow him on threads where he's really living out, which I really appreciate. But he doesn't bring that at all to Bravo, really, when he's kind of, navigating the reunions. And I wonder why, because It'd be interesting to see what percentage of watchers are conservative, because there does seem to be like kind of like a fear of really pissing those viewers off. And
I agree.
Everything is a little more like, feels like a little more conservative lately, like the shows and the casting. But it's weird because I'm like, if you just kind of identify the issue here, I think it would go a long way with viewers. Like, okay, yeah, this is why.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we get
Well,
it.
I wonder if he switched to not really working for Bravo full time. And so I wonder if a lot of that has to do with it. Is he obviously has ownership of all of his own accounts, and then his Watch What Happens live show, in his jackhole of the day or whatever, he gets a little bit more liberal there too, which is nice to see. But you're right, at reunions especially, I feel like he's really been lacking the last few years. And I think it's because he doesn't have as much control, unfortunately.
That's probably why. That's a good point.
Interesting. I also just think a lot of people, unfortunately, mainly like the housewives, lean very conservative, and that's really his like money makers. You know?
He's been friends with them for too long.
For
you
so
can tell
long.
the cast that he won't go hard at because he's just been with them. Whereas the younger cast,
Like
we
the
saw a
Southern
little
Charm
bit with
boys.
Southern Hospitality. Yeah, Southern Hospitality, we saw him like get there with the cast a little bit more. But Southern Charm, he will never hold a white man's feet to the fire.
Never. You know what? That's funny that you say that. This like made me think of something tangential. Every once in a while on Watch What Happens Live, Andy will be really annoyed for no reason.
Yeah.
And that's like my biggest pet peeve with people in general. Like when I've not done something to you, but you're coming to me with an attitude. I really hate that. And I really, really don't like that when he does it on Watch What Happens Live. And like he completely like throws the groove off. I'm like, give it to someone else then. Give it to Kiki Palmer if you don't want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's like a small group. You have two guests up there. So to make one uncomfortable,
I know.
it's very, very noticeable.
Awkward. Yeah.
And so awkward. And the room must, like, I imagine the room's really small. Like, the amount of people in the audience, it is annoying.
I went to his old studio when there were like an audience of 15, and it was tiny.
Oh my
now it's a little
God.
bit bigger, but it's you're in there.
It's
And
still-
then during
amazing.
the commercial breaks, they like stand up and like the guest will talk to you, he will talk to you. So you very much
That's
as
so
a guest or as an audience member feel like you're a part of it.
It's the
I
hardest
actually- I
ticket
used-
to get
Oh,
in
I
New
know.
York.
I used to live in
Yeah.
the East Village, and
okay.
I ran into him once, and I was like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. And he was like, thank you. And just like walked away. Like he was so, man about town, like so busy. I do think he's gorgeous. Him and Anderson Cooper,
He is.
gorgeous. I love both of
Oh
them.
my God, the best pairing. I'm obsessed with them.
I know.
That's
gorgeous.
a friendship duo for sure.
It's the best. But I also wanted to ask, because I think Bravo's fan base is primarily white. Obviously, a lot of the shows lean with a lot of white cast members. But then they have these like casts that are people of color, and those shows just they claim don't do as well and then are taken
I
off
know.
the air. One of our big ones that we always stand up for is Summer House Martha's Vineyard. I don't know if you ever partook,
Miss it
but
so
Of
much.
course I did. Yes.
it was
It's
one of our
horrible.
favorite shows. Do you think it's just like for lack of a better word, white people aren't watching it because it's a cast that they think they can't relate to? Or like, what's your opinion on it? Because we can't figure it out for the life of us because we love those
that's
shows.
Great question. So I think it's complicated. I think a lot of it is that like viewers, for white people, when they watch media, especially like people our age where they've like grown up with less diversity, outright diversity, it's very common for white people to watch shows about white people and not have to think about like putting themselves, like watching something with someone of another race and having to like kind of project yourself onto that person. But black and brown people have to do that all the time. So it's like that's not as much of an encumbrance when you're like watching TV and you're a black or brown person. I think white people just like can't relate to black people, even though like the experience on Martha's Vineyard is largely similar to Summer House, like the original iteration.
Yeah.
And I also think, so I think that's true. I think with Martha's Vineyard, the setup of the show was not good either. Like the 2 weeks,
fair.
Going away for 2 weeks, it wasn't like going and coming. And
Yeah.
so I think that was part of it. But like, I wish they had done more with like Jordan, who I think is the most beautiful girl on the planet.
I
Oh
couldn't
my God,
agree more.
incredible.
I hear
You
a
know,
lot of
like,
calls
they're-
to have her on In the City now. And I was like, that, I never even thought about
We
that.
need
And they
it.
really should have. They really missed out.
And it's like sometimes, like within the city, for example, like Kenny's mixed and Gavin and are two black people, and then Danielle's Hispanic. But like, I'm like, do you not think there are any other black people or like brown people in New York City? Like
In New
what is-
York, of all
Yeah.
places.
And what confuses me too about like Bravo is like so much of culture and so much of the zeitgeist is like appropriated from black people, obviously. But I think it's like empirically, just like when you watch, or even anecdotally, when you're anywhere, when there are a lot of Black people having fun, like, it's the most fun. Like, you have fun. It's so much fun to exist in it. And so I just feel like I don't understand why Bravo doesn't think about that when they're making these casts. Like, it would just be more fun for everyone to have more Black people on Bravo.
100%.
I would love to know who are the people putting this show together, because if you're a white person in a white group putting together this show, like, you don't have that lived experience to know how to put it together correctly too. They even had that issue with like OG Summer House. Granted, it wasn't a race issue, but Kyle Cook stepped in and said, you guys don't know anything about the Hamptons. Here's how we're going to do it. So I feel like when we have these specialty shows where we go to a location, you should have someone who is from that location and in your audience and in your cast group to kind of like guide that.
That reminds me of Family Karma, which is like one of my favorite shows of all time on Bravo. I'm so upset about it.
I can't think about it because I am so upset because their lives are doing so many amazing things that I'm so mad I'm not getting to watch.
What was so amazing about that show, and what I think is like the best example of reality TV, or like what reality TV can be most effectively, is like they showed us this different culture, but they also like ultimately showed us that these people are just like everybody else. And that's like a really digestible way to like care about diversity. And I love that show so much. Like they talk about the food they were eating and like the aunties and all that. Like that felt so culturally specific in like a really fun way. But then they were all just like hooking up and like fighting and stuff. And that 100%. Was really cool too. And I'm so upset about that. And then there was also the show about people in Mexico City. Do you remember that show? I forget what it was called.
It was like Mexican Dynasties.
Yes, my mom and I loved that show. It was so good.
I watched the first season.
It was so good. And they also revealed that like a large percentage of Mexicans, or significant percentage of Mexicans, are Jewish, which I did not know. And I thought that was really cool too. So it's like, you know, I think the shows are interesting and anthropological when they're like housewives in a random city, but even more so when it's like a culture. And I think those shows are always really good, but people like I don't know why they keep taking them off the air.
It's that they don't have like the desire to learn about other people. I love learning about other cultures. No, it's Alicia and I travel a lot. Like I know we have that bug to see different places, meet new people. And I really enjoyed that about, like you said, Family Karma. Learning about the Indian culture, all their celebrations was so exciting, especially when we got to that wedding in season 3. I tell everybody about that still to this day. It was the most magical thing to watch on my television screen, because I've never been to an Indian wedding. I don't know anybody who has. I now like do have friends who are Indian, and so I'm able to like speak to them about their experiences and their family weddings, and I get to like conceptualize it in my brain since I've seen it now, which is so nice to be able to connect with people, even though I haven't had that experience myself.
Yeah. And that's like, I think ultimately the thing about reality TV that I wish people would take more seriously is that it exposes you to kind of like environment, to situations that you might like not be familiar with. And then like, maybe you don't know,
talk
like,
about that a lot.
It's so annoying. Like maybe you don't know an Indian American person in real life, but you do know you love someone on TV, or you feel like you know them really well. And then that like would go a long way in real life.
And I think like so many people always bitch about like not wanting to learn how to like appropriately talk about people or like learn things. And like a really easy way to do that is just to watch a show about them.
Literally.
Because we're just like accidentally learning while watching like people fight. Like Martha's Vineyard, we were learning a lot about Black culture that we didn't know. And even like Danielle on Summer House, like I know she's just one Latina woman, but Meredith and I then had a lot of conversations where I was like, oh my God, I relate to Danielle on that.
Yes.
And Meredith just had no idea that that was like a thing. Like, I think Danielle made a comment about like being comfortable with her natural hair. And when we were talking about it, I started crying because I was like, for years, that was a thing for me.
No, I love
and
that.
Meredith was like, I didn't even write that down in my notes. Like it totally just, because it's not something you think about, but now Meredith knows. And like, it was a really easy way to learn.
And we didn't know each other when you were in your high school era of like dealing with that at its heightened time. So it's like, how do you draw back those conversations that are very meaningful to the friends and people in your life, but may not be sparked in an everyday sense because we're not dealing with that in the same way. So like,
we're not eating pizza on Fridays being like, let me tell you about my childhood trauma.
Wait, that's so funny. You know what that reminds me of? Like, I love Love Island, like, and I'm like late to the game. This was only my third time watching like live. But one of the examples of like how important reality TV can be to like cultural conversations is the way the Black women wear bonnets. Okay.
Yeah.
Most white people know nothing about bonnets. Like
nothing about a bonnet.
No, you know what I mean? Like,
Nothing.
what's a bonnet? And, you know, now white people are starting to wear them, but, like, my mom, like, never taught us to wear bonnets. So, like, we started wearing them in college. But it's, like, it's such a regular thing now. And there's, like, you know, there's always this, like, ebbing and flowing conversation about, like, the politics of wearing bonnets and do-rags. But, like, the fact that they always wear them on Love Island exposes people to it and causes people to ask questions. I think that's so important. Or even just, like, the way, like, sometimes the conversations about the Black women's hair can be, like, really volatile and harmful. But at least it exposes people to, like, just, like, different things, you know? Like, when I was a kid, there was this woman who worked at the school I went to, and she was a Black woman. And she would, like, change her hair with wigs, but obviously my mom never taught us about that. And I remember one time being like, oh, my God, Miss Jackson has such magical hair. Like, how does she grow it and then, like, cut it? And my mom was like, I have no idea. I think it is magic. You know, like, it's helpful to actually know the answer to those questions.
Yeah. Did you watch Love Island USA Season 6 by chance with, like, Serena and Cordell?
Oh, of course. That was my first one, and I was so obsessed.
They had a scene, and there's just, like, so much talk about hair and, like, people of color, but, like, Serena did Cordell's hair, and I think that was a really, like, it sparked a lot of conversations because, like, it's not easy to do black hair all the time. Like, it depends on the texture, and you can't just, like, wash it every day and then, like, step out. You have to do it, and you have to put product, and sometimes you have to braid it. Yeah. And so, like, her doing that, I think also sparked people to be like, oh, there's a lot more hair care maintenance, and, like, people of color really, like, identify or find their identity through their hair a lot of times. So that's, like, another conversation that was being had. So yeah, reality TV is incredible, and
that is, like, we are speaking about evergreen. No, I totally agree.
No, I agree with like, as a white person, learning about black hair through Love Island is actually magical because it's also in such a tough environment, with it being so humid in a tropical environment, that it causes a lot more issues. That then how you show up to the island, if you're gonna be a day oneer and potentially gonna be there for 6 weeks, it also changes how you're gonna show up. And so the conversations I've even had in my own friend groups is awesome, because I think it's so easy to say the wrong thing a lot of the times when you don't know about something. And so it makes it a very approachable conversation. And I think people are learning also with this show how to have the appropriate conversations about hair while not being disrespectful and leaning into curiosity and learning more. Because, 100%. I don't know all the maintenance that goes in.
But it's, like, fun
wash
to
my
learn
hair every single day. But the braiding that happens, I'm obsessed. Like, I will never get over Serena's braids from Love Island season 6.
So good.
No, and
beautiful.
You know what? That's, like, a good point, because the women were wearing boho braids that season, which was, like, a term that most white people had never heard before. And now, like, that is so much a part of the zeitgeist. And I think, like, that's really cool. And I think, like, even if you think about, like, Sierra, like, open the door for Sierra to feel comfortable wearing her, you know, hair in braids. And, like, it is, like, this, like, trickle down effect that I find like is, like, super important, and I love. You know, I love, obviously, just love all of the positive impacts of reality TV.
That's a really good point. Like, Sierra's transition on, like, her showing up on her show and what she does with her hair on Summer House is vastly different. Like, she's in it for 2.5, 3 days. And so what is that maintenance, and how does she show up? But then how did she feel comfortable? She was the first Black woman on Summer House. And so she really wanted to fit into the white Montauk area, Hamptons area. Nightmare.
Wait, this is funny. So my sister's getting married at the end of August, and so she had her bachelorette party in the Hamptons. That is not something to do. And one day I was like, should we go to the Summer House? And so we drove by. I knew that they would have gates. We probably wouldn't see it, but the gates were open, so we were able to drive by and see. And it was really cool. The house was gorgeous, but I can attest that it's very Caucasian in the Hamptons, and it definitely stuck out like a sore thumb. So
and I think that's something people also didn't think of. I mean, we know the Hamptons are white, right? But no one's thinking about that when we're watching the show until, like, Sierra and Maya, and even, like, I think Danielle popped in and was like, this is what we're going through. And, like, a lot of the times you kind of also don't notice it as a person of color. Like, I grew up in a primarily white area, and so, like, if I'm around a lot of white people, it doesn't, like, I don't automatically clock it a lot of the times.
Totally.
But then when I'm like, oh, these white people have a different experience, that's also, like, normalized. But I liked Danielle and Maya and Danielle being like, look, you're not going through what we're going through here. It's different.
You got to go on autopilot as a white person 99.9% of your life. And so to step out of it and recognize that, like, oh, there's a lot of things they're not saying out loud. And I think the Summer House cast has been really good about drawing to the surface the conversations that need to be had and giving a respectful, like, sit down family talk where the people of color's voices are heard and highlighted. And at times, you know, Kyle will speak in and I'm like, my guy, not the time, but he's so well-meaning.
I was going to say, listen, Kyle Cook, you could never make me hate him. That man
same. I love him.
Black people.
Yeah, I love him.
Loves black people. It's like really crazy. Like, and it makes sense. He's like from New Hampshire. Apparently, he's from the same town as Kata from Love Island.
Oh,
but yeah, but he like, and he followed her on social media immediately. But like, and sometimes you can tell when white people are like, you know, like being nice. Like they're not pandering, but like it seems more like obligatory. But when Kyle does it, like he's always crying when Sierra's crying.
He sheds a tear for her.
So much. There was that one season of Winter House where I think Rachel the florist was like crying and talking about like beauty standards, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, how can I help you? How can I amplify your voice?" Like he really does care, and so I could never hate him.
He's an ally.
He's a really good friend.
He takes people's like hurt and just immediately must empathize with them. Like it is so beautiful. And even if he like maybe comes in at the wrong time, I'm like, but he's really trying. Like he really cares.
He really cares about black people. So, and I just love that.
Yeah. Support for Kyle. We love him. And I think it was really cool, like, because Sierra has had a few conversations about being black in the Hamptons, which I think is great because I know it's not easy when you're the only black person at a table. But yeah, I always just think Kyle listens beautifully. Like out of everyone sitting there. And I thought it was cool that like now she has KJ there to also, then oh my God, what's her name?
Mia.
I was gonna say Maya, but that was the other girl.
Mia. Oh, Mia is such a triumph. It's actually unbelievable.
Incredible.
Like
honestly, probably the best casting on Summer House ever.
And Summer House always has like, you know, like kind of the rough castings bringing in people. But also the funniest thing about Mia is like all of her stuff on social media right now are ads, and like I don't even care. I'm like, no, I don't care, queen,
because it's
I'm
also
so happy
done
for her.
So well. Like whoever's giving her these creative briefs too is knocking it out of the park, and then the way she delivers them, it feels like it's natural content. Like it is not an ad to me. I'm like, I'm watching it like 4 times in a row.
Yeah, and it was what I loved about this season was like you saw Sierra like feel so much more calm around when there were other black people on the show, and even if she like she didn't know KJ to be beforehand, but the idea that like they could like joke around and be together and like she was like code switching with them was just like so fun to watch.
Oh, it was beautiful.
That was like the one time Summer House did like really good casting. It was really
I
good.
Agree. No, and I'm happy that they're going to be on Summer House season 11 too.
I know.
Like,
I'm really worried about KJ, but like I'm happy.
I am too. But I hope that this, like, gives him something. Like, I'm like...
I know.
Having a summer fun thing to look forward to is always nice. To be like, this is what I'm doing. And, like, I just need to wake up. I need to go to the Hamptons and be with my family.
Yeah, totally.
He's
I feel
back
like that
with
will
his
be good
big
for him.
sisters. You know what I mean? Like, they're there for him again. That's the fam.
You know, and it's sad. I feel sad about him and Dara. But I feel like Dara was really going through it. But I've been following her on Insta or TikTok for a really long time, and I'm obsessed with her. I'm sad she's not coming back. She's so good at makeup. I love her.
Ooh, I've noticed that too.
Yeah, she's like been doing makeup on TikTok for a very long time.
Wow.
And she's from like the town next to my parents where I am right now. And I saw this like interview once where she's like, yeah, like I'm from the mean streets of Boston. I was like, you're from Weston, Massachusetts. That's a very rich area. What are you talking about?
Oh my
God. So now you know.
Oh God, I hate when that happens with cities where it's like, you're not from like the city. Like, let's all claim our suburbs.
That's me. I always claim I'm from Chicago. I'm not.
But we have said we're not suburb people anymore. We are city people.
It's been a lot of years. Now I'm on the mean streaks of Brooklyn. So how about that?
Love that.
Oh gosh. Well, what else are you watching? I know we touched on a few things between Summer House, Love Island, anything current.
So my mom and I love watching reality TV together, and we just watched The Ultimatum on Netflix. Did you guys watch that?
The straight version? Or the gay version?
Okay.
There's two
I
versions.
just watched the straight version, but I watched the gay version, and that was like, I fell in love with so many people on the gay version.
The gay version was crazy.
It was really crazy. I think that's like, they need to do like Love Island like that.
Oh,
but the
100%.
I said that last week on our episode.
No,
I was like, give me a queer Love Island, please. They did it with Are You the One?
And that was
I
mess.
just
That was mess.
rewatched that season, actually.
I love Are You the One?
That
Should we get into that show?
I loved that because it's like, I just feel like that is like the final frontier, I feel like, on reality TV. It's interesting to me that like we don't have all queer casts. And I don't know why, because those are my favorite shows. And so, I mean, obviously I understand like people are homophobic and like that's horrible. But all like the Ultimatum queer version was my favorite. The Are You the One queer version was my favorite.
So
like
good.
it's so, I just love it. I love when everyone can date everyone.
100%. That was the craziest one about Are You the One? Is like it was everyone.
Because the math was off. They needed to give them a few more weeks because they had exponentially more matches.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You had double the amount of people could be a match.
You know what? Everyone dating everyone. That is how law school is like. Everyone dates everyone. It's like it is like, you know, queer Love Island.
Messy.
So now you know. No, so the Ultimatum, this like the most recent version is so bad. Like everyone is like very crazy. It's like a little toxic. Everyone's like conservative.
The straight people.
It's very toxic. Everyone's like really young. It's really weird. So my mom and I are watching that.
Jeez.
Okay.
Watching
Do you recommend it?
No, it was bad.
Okay.
It was like really, everyone was being really crazy. Like it's real. I mean, if you want to watch some toxicity, it's just like incredibly toxic.
I can't do more.
No.
I was
gonna boycott. I was gonna boycott the straight version because they got rid of the queer version. They canceled it. So I was gonna be like, one less viewer for you until you bring back the queer version.
Hate that. That's
because
horrible.
the queer version did so good.
It did so well.
It
and
did
I just
numbers.
No, it did, you know, and I feel like it reveals, my favorite thing is like a queer show like that, inevitably, you know, I'm really interested in, what is it called? Compulsive heterosexuality, where like people like, you know, like don't really think they're gay, but then maybe they might be like a little gay. And I feel like that show made a lot of people realize like maybe I am in fact a little bit gay. And I think that's good for everyone. That's
oh my God, Meredith has to hear about this all the time. Every day I'm like, I think I got 1% gayer.
No,
slowly moving there.
I definitely over here. And I love it. So, and then I've been watching In the City, which has been like, I don't know, I keep like vacillating. Like on the one hand, I wasn't ready to give up the Amanda Kyle West of it all. Yeah. But on the other hand, like I was over it. But I will say, do you guys listen to Rachel Lindsay like on Morally Corrupt? She has like a podcast where she talks about Bravo.
I don't listen to the podcast, but I watch a lot of the clips on TikTok.
Okay. So she's friends with Whitney. And I guess they're like really good friends.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Okay.
And
did you hear that Whitney was supposed to move to New York City anyways? Rachel said that on her podcast.
With Rachel.
Okay.
But so Rachel, like I love Rachel Lindsay. I think like she's a really brave person. I think she has been treated so horribly by every single like form of media possible.
Agreed.
But and like I rarely think she has a bad take. Like her podcast Higher Learning with Van Lathan is actually incredible. Like they they talk about like really important stuff. Like that's like a really good kind of like racial intersection podcast. But this is the first time I've heard her have a horrible take. She was defending Whitney like down. Like she refuses to criticize. She thinks she like doesn't like Lindsay. Like it's actually really hard to hear her do this because I'm like, this is such a bad take. She like thinks Lindsay is nuts. She thinks Whitney didn't do anything wrong. She believes very strongly in Whitney and Kenny's relationship. She thinks Whitney is like a really dynamic, fun person to watch on TV.
Oh.
What are we talking about? And like she's a nice person.
Sorry.
No, and it's like
so sorry.
But she's
really
giving nothing. The most she did was become an FBI agent and Facebook stalk someone. That's the most she brought to this season.
And it's like really crazy when she's like, as soon as she said the single mom thing, I was like, get her out. Get her out. Like,
we haven't gotten to that point. We haven't gotten to that point yet. We're behind.
We know it's coming.
We're through episode 7, but I think that's the next episode.
We know it's coming.
She's like, it's so, and you know what? I am confused why Kenny loves her. Not because, like, she's a beautiful person. I'm sure she's, like, a wonderful human. But I just, like, when you are dating someone, you're going to get married to someone, you're with them all the time. And you have to, like, have fun together. And I've never seen them have fun. I'm very confused by it.
Okay.
The most fun they had was weirdly running, and that looked miserable in the streets of New York.
When Gavin looked at them and was like, yeah, I think you want a little more spice, Kenny. And Kenny and Whitney were so offended. I was like, no, I agree.
No,
Kenny
there's no
seems
spice.
like more of a personality. And Whitney is that gluten-free bread she was making on a Friday night.
No, actually, I do have to admit, like, I am in love with Kenny.
Oh,
I do.
Alicia feels the opposite.
When I first saw him, I was like, boo. But then I'm like kind of in love with him, and he's rich. So I don't know.
I'm a Lindsay apologist. Like,
No,
I
me
am. Anyone, it's bad. Meredith can
But I
attest.
think they
Anyone
love
who
each other.
crosses.
Don't you think they kind of have a crush on each other?
No.
Okay, after the
would
last
die.
episode, episode 7, where
I
they
do.
sit down and talk about their trauma, and
was
they were
nice.
like
That was
so
beautiful.
gentle with each
That
other.
was
I
nice.
was like,
That was beautiful.
what's going on here? I was like, what alternate universe?
No, I'm a Lindsay Hubbard truther because I started watching when the show started, because I lived in the East Village, and my boyfriend at the time lived above a bar, and I totally am blanking the name of it, where they would host the Summer House people like every week, like after the show. So me and my best friend would go all the time, and we wouldn't talk to them, but we'd like see them, and I was like, yeah. And so I've been obsessed with them ever since. I felt like I was like living in New York City with them.
Yeah.
And so the last 2 years, and everyone's been getting on the bandwagon, I'm like, you weren't there from the beginning.
No.
Like, I was there with the Workus twins.
Meredith
Bring 'em
always was like, I cannot stand Lindsay. And I was like, I am telling you.
No.
She will win you over.
She's a good person. She's a good
She's
I
person.
will defend this now. It's because I'm so much like her, and I think I hated myself so much for the qualities that I saw that
that's
she
so funny 'cause
exhibited on TV.
My best friend is just like her, and she also hates Lindsay. And I'm like, I hate to break it to you, girlfriend.
You can't look
You're
in the
just like
mirror.
her.
Huh?
It's tough. It's tough
can't
to
look in
look
that
at
mirror.
Lindsay and have it be reflected back to you. I am 1,000% Lindsay through and through.
She's
No,
incredible.
but the reason why I love her so much is I actually think she's like a great example for people at this time in history, because like, I think she was like toxic before because she was so desperate. I think the whole time
to
she just
fall
wanted
in
a kid.
love.
I don't even think it was
She
that.
wanted
like,
a
I think that
family.
She just wanted the family.
And so I think she was so desperately trying. I don't think she was desperate, but she was like so eager to like couple up with someone because she wanted a kid to like fix this like trauma she has in her life. And now that she has Gemma, I feel like she's really calmed down. Like she's just like,
I
whatever.
agree. A weight has
That
been
really is
lifted off
meaningful
of
to me.
her. Yeah.
And like also it's such a good message because now it's like Lindsay Hubbard is living in that big ass apartment. She's clearly making a lot of money. She's had that love bracelet for about like 8 years now. And she's doing it all on her own, and she has a kid. And that's such a good message for people. Yeah. And I love it.
I agree.
I've met her once. She's a really nice person.
Oh, I bet.
Like I think it was in the East Village. There was for Winter House. They were doing like promo, and there was a hot chocolate truck. And I was just like walking by, and I was like, "Hey, I know those people. I'm going to stick around."
Yes.
And like out of all the people, Lindsay like took, I would say, close to 10 minutes just chatting with me. She was so nice and kind, and like everyone didn't have to be nice, right? They just had to take a picture with me. Most other people did that, but like Lindsay genuinely was like, how are you, tell me about yourself, like everything.
I love that.
Just the nicest person ever.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
I'm obsessed with her.
I like the come up that she's had. I think the growth. I think everybody needs to kind of hate some characters a little bit, but to love them so much. And Lindsay is one of those that I hope everybody has that arc with her.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Are you by chance watching Gen X or Next Gen NYC?
Oh yeah,
Gen
of course,
X?
of course. Yeah, I'll watch everything. Because at first I started watching because I thought it was going to be like NYC Prep, which is like the show of my.
Oh my god!
Did you guys watch that?
Yes,
that's
we
on
covered it on our
COVID show.
podcast too.
Wait, so every once in a while I look them up. I'm like, how are these guys doing? Like, what's everyone up to? You know,
we did that for our podcast. Every episode, I looked someone new up to tell Meredith where exactly they were in 2020. I should
no, I
look
love
them
that.
up.
No, we
should
should.
find out.
But I love Next Gen NYC. It's like fluffy. I didn't think it was going to be good. I'm also in love with, I'm forgetting his name, the new guy this season.
Liam.
He kind of looks like
Liam.
He kind of looks like
Shay?
like
Shy?
Roy from he looks like from one of the brothers from Succession. Like, I love him. I just love this show. Yeah, I'm really into
It's
it.
Liam.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah,
Really
it's
into
Liam.
I think I love Ariana. Like, I didn't realize
Love her.
She's such a star. It's like
She
really
is.
crazy.
Agree.
Like, she doesn't come off poor. Like, there's no bad sides to her. Even though like she doesn't seem to be hiding anything. She's just like she's airing it all. I just don't want her back with like Hudson. Like, I'm really upset about that.
I'm torn.
I'm in it.
Torn.
Ugh.
I don't know why, but I love, like, people who get back together. I just, like, when you can, like, find your way back. If he's different, though. Like, if he can shape up, that's what I would love to see. But I agree. And knowing that her and Liam are kind of flirting, I'm like, get with Liam. He seems amazing.
Yes, he's hot.
Yeah.
And
he seems so cool.
On the most recent episode, they did the thing where they're like, Hudson's whole Instagram is, like, car.
Oh,
diamond.
my God.
And I was like, that's an ick. I'm upset about that.
Agreed.
But I don't know enough about Liam yet. I need to, but they're back together
Ariana,
already,
like,
so.
Ariana was, like, covertly, like, explaining that, like, Hudson, like, she'd leave and come back, like, hours later and he hadn't moved. He, like, didn't want to go to the gym. He wasn't eating. I'm like, you're a billionaire son. What are you, like, go live your life in New York City. Like, that.
You don't even have to work.
That bothers me.
That's the thing. It's like, you don't have to work. Go do something. Go do a hobby.
No, totally. It's crazy. The person I'm really interested by is Ava Dash, because for me,
incredible.
A black girl on TV, love her down, always. Like, I will never say anything bad about her. I just don't find her interesting. Like, I think she's really beautiful. I think, and that's it. And I just, like, can't get behind it. And so when she's like,
not
I don't know
even
why I'm, like, not amassing a about anything. No. And so I'm like, I'm confused by the Kyle Cook of it all, but...
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, we get it.
Wait, really quick, still on Ava. I just find her to be so bland. Like, she won't give anything because I feel like she's raised as a celebrity's kid, that she always, like, has this facade. But I feel like sometimes you have the celebrity kids who do that and then have a messy, crazy life behind them. Ava doesn't seem like that. Like, it doesn't seem like she has any original thoughts or opinions herself. Often that she wants to share.
But I'm interested in Ava, and she's given me nothing to be interested.
She will give it.
Whereas, Gia, I couldn't care less, to be, like, quite honest.
She pisses me off and gives me... She's the opposite of Ava to me. She has a lot of opinions, and I want none of them.
Ava can be a star. I just, need something from her. I don't understand.
Ava is, like, it's, it doesn't matter. Like, obviously, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. She is so pretty. I'm like, you're a celebrity's kid? What are you doing? She's like, I can't crack 20,000 or whatever. I'm like, what is going on? She does have great style.
Yeah, she's incredible. I have nothing bad to say except, can I see more? Can you be excited about something? Or
like,
she's always like,
5% of what Amira gives in the, like...
Oh, yeah.
Influencer world, because Amira is, like, doing everything, and I'm like, damn, girl, the way you hustle.
What a hard worker.
Yeah. Like, I'm exhausted watching her.
I'm so tired.
All the stuff she's doing, I was like, oh my God. And so I love Amira for many reasons. She's, like, incredibly gorgeous. Obviously, she's such a hard worker. But also it's, like, this thing where it's like, okay, this is, like, a trans woman. This is amazing. Like, we have a trans woman on TV. But I don't know if it was, I think it was last week when Charlie or, like, Georgia revealed that Charlie had something transphobic. That is horrendous. That is a horrendous thing to say. I cannot believe that.
And I believe Georgia's
reaction.
I believe Georgia.
No, I believe her too. I think it was, like, weird that she waited to tell her, but, like, that is such a terrible thing to think.
Yeah.
I
think obviously Georgia held the information, wrongly.
And weaponized it.
Maybe do it off camera, because that's, like, a really terrible thing that was said. And, like, the fact that Amira had to hear that at a party, on camera, at a bar, like, maybe.
Like, so upsetting.
Give her a break.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
No, I hate that. But I think it's good, like, it's awful that moment is, like, happening on TV, but now I think viewers are like, okay, I can't say stuff like that. No, you cannot say stuff like that.
No.
Disgusting.
No, because it's not true. Like, you're just
like,
jumping to random conclusions because you're just wanting to be...
And also, like, why do you care?
Why do people care what anybody does in their bedroom and with their private parts? I don't get it.
I'm always wondering that.
I don't even want to talk about straight sex. Like, I don't want to talk about anybody's sex.
No,
like,
I think it's so weird. Like, you know how, like, every bigot is just, like, so obsessed with talking about, like, bathrooms and kids? Yeah. I'm like, you're being a freak.
You're weird.
How many times has that happened to you in a bathroom? Like, you're making up this hypothetical.
Literally
How many times are you going in the bathroom being like, okay, everyone show me your genitals to make sure we all match? Like, give it a break.
I'm getting in and I'm getting out.
No, I'm deep in WNBA drama, and this is, like, a hot topic currently. So, like,
I want to get deeper into I know that. I know that about you. I want to get deeper into it. But I just, like, I'm in love with Paige. I want to marry her.
Who's not?
No, I'm, like, amazing. Really in love with her.
Oh, y'all.
Like, I would want to, totally. Caitlin Clark, I hate. I hate Caitlin Clark.
And
it's interesting that the WNBA is so racialized. Like, obviously, like, the NBA is too, but it's like, it's getting a little spooky ooky. I don't like it.
I know.
It's because all the straights have now found the WNBA, and like
I know.
it's getting weird now. Before
getting
it was
so
for
weird.
queer people, and everyone was happy and loved, and it was like the safest place on earth.
Crazy. That happens in every corner of the earth.
I know.
I see a pattern.
Things, it
I
goes
see a pattern.
downhill.
They're like trying to colonize the WNBA.
Yeah,
They are. It's gross.
but if you want to fall in love, my WNBA crush, her name is Gabby Williams.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen her, but
I'll look
you
her
should
up.
definitely look her up because
I'll fall in love really quickly. You know who I'm
she
in
has
love
like
with,
tattoos
too?
everywhere. Whoa.
The non-binary actor on Game of Thrones. I'm forgetting their
I
name.
never watched.
Ooh,
Oh my god.
I'm
They're
bad at
so
names. I'm about to.
Look
I
it
think
up.
their name is Emma. I'm so in love with this.
Yes.
Oh my, I'm so in love with this person. It's like sick. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
definitely
look them
like
up.
floating.
Is
you
it
know,
from
not
House
straight.
of Dragon?
Yes.
It's the yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
the
no,
one
I
with-
love that.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, I think
Emma
like,
Darcy.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. Do you remember Stephen McGee?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
we love Steven.
Like, I thought it obviously was like not cool that he like outed Carl like that. Obviously,
Yeah,
really
that's
uncool.
bad.
And they've
That's
made
bad.
amends on that since.
But I loved him on the show. That's like, I'm like, can we get like, I would love like a weekend with the Workus girls. Honestly, I also
Oh my
loved them.
gosh.
I loved them.
They were
like
the
were-
right amount of chaos. Like
No,
They
they
were
were
epic.
good, problematic. You know what I mean?
And
like
so
they
much.
were
Yes.
saying terrible, racist, homophobic. They were just crazy sometimes.
exactly.
They were
Like,
only
I'm
fucking
sure
up
they're
their
fine.
own life, you know?
100%.
Like
and
No.
and who they were dating, and Carl's life. But that was fine.
Also, the
Deserved.
crazy thing is, so last year I rewatched all of Summer House.
What a
and
time.
I like it was so good. And Carl used to be so weird, like so
Yeah.
different. Like it's actually crazy. Like you forget,
Chris.
like he really has changed
Oh.
so much.
Chris, we don't forget because for years Carl gave me such an ick. All I would do
Yeah.
is bitch about him.
those white pants.
I know.
Oh.
I know. And now he
Don't-
does give me the ick for like different reasons, but I
For
do
different
love him.
reasons.
Like
But I'm like, you're
Same.
so sweet. Stop.
He's so sweet.
I do.
Now-
I have to say,
yeah.
this is like a really unpopular opinion. I do kind of want him and Lindsay to get back together. I know it's horrible.
don't you
and
dare.
toxic.
It's
Don't
gonna
you
blow up
dare.
again.
Because I think
they
Appreciate what we
changed.
have.
They both changed,
But not
I really
enough.
think Gemma
Not
should be
enough.
his
I
kid.
don't. No.
Carl still, she couldn't survive a second heartbreak from Carl. She couldn't.
No, that was
It
crazy though.
couldn't
Like
happen.
when I rewatched that episode, and he like they're sitting on the couch like that, I was like, "Are we doing this?"
It's not funny,
Like,
but it's the craziest thing when they sit down and he's like, "We shouldn't get married," and she was like, "Huh?" Like
I've explained this to friends that like we always know what happens, especially with Summer House. Little is
Yeah.
like kept to the imagination on the big like where people end up. We
Yeah.
all went in knowing they were breaking up, and it was wild
It was
to
still
sit there
shocking.
watching, being like, "And you guys aren't getting married. You guys are breaking up right now. This is news to me."
no, like it's so funny. Summer House is like so important to me because I do feel like they're my friends. They're not my friends. They
they are
don't
my
know who I
friends.
am.
It feels like a
I-
real person life, you know, like
Yeah.
not this imaginary, like I'm working in a
Totally.
restaurant in Hollywood
Exactly.
in a towel, like.
Exactly. Which is why, wait, I'll say this, which is why this like whole like Amanda West thing was like so crazy because I was like, why are my
Yes.
friends acting like this?
100%.
But when the news broke that they put that like stupid ChatGPT thing on the like they published it, I literally looked at it because I knew it was true. I looked at it, I called my sister, and I screamed for 30 minutes. Then I called
Yeah.
my mom. Then I called
It
my
brought
boyfriend.
people
and I
together. Yeah.
I could like. I will never. That was such a high. Like it was bad. I was so
I
sad
know.
for everyone. And then that picture
Yeah.
of Sierra came out. Like I was angry, but it was like a high I'll be
Right.
chasing for the rest of my life.
No, we found out through very reliable sources, like the Thursday
That it was
prior to that
coming.
statement, and we had to like
So you're just
edit all this stuff
waiting.
out of our
I didn't
podcast
want to
over
leave
it.
because I was like, God forbid it hurts Sierra's feel. Like I have to like, I don't know. I was just like, something felt weird, but then it
Yeah.
dropped, and we were like, oh no, we
No,
knew.
And I
it.
remember
that.
after filming that, I called all my friends and I was like, it's true. Like, I'm telling you on my life, this is true. And people like still kind of didn't believe me. And I was like, I don't think you understand. This is so true. They will be putting out a statement soon. And when it
was-
dropped, I felt vindicated, but I was like,
Yeah.
I still don't like that this is true.
Do you remember how it like proliferated across the internet so quickly? Like I remember being like, I never like go like I never type anything on Reddit, but I'm always reading. I'm always
Same.
looking. And like the Summer House Bravo like subreddit, they had 21 mega threads. Like it was just like thread after thread. People being like, "What the hell?" It was
because the rumors
like,
were that they were going to drop a statement, so everybody was sitting and waiting. Like it wasn't like Scandival where we like it came out randomly. It's like this was slowly being rumored, and so everybody's just like waiting on pins and needles. Like, so is today the day? And they couldn't drop that statement on April Fool's Day. Half the people thought it was a joke the entire time.
Me. I know. I thought it was a joke for a while. Wait, do you guys think that they were hooking up? Like, when do you guys think they actually started physically hooking up?
We discussed this a lot. I don't think they were hooking up in summer. I think that's when they unknowingly both started to get feeling-ish
like wouldn't
for each
acknowledge
other.
It.
Yeah, but I think it was like back of mind, like this cannot happen. I'm putting it somewhere around like November, I think, because Kyle said like, "Oh, Thanksgiving." Like it sounded like they were fighting around. I forget what Kyle said, but he made a comment and like, and then on Thanksgiving we didn't hang out. And I feel like that's November's around the time, I would guess.
I think they kissed. I don't think they really slept together until January or February.
Until after the statement.
Until after the divorce statement. Yeah.
I think they were doing something weird in August. They were being so weird, and I can't even tell you.
They were weird.
I don't really hate people. I think one of the defining characteristics of who I am is that each of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done, which is a Bryan Stevenson quote. Mm-hmm. But I really dislike Amanda. I really dislike her. And I used to love her. This is so embarrassing. I'm sharing this with you. I got my nose pierced, my nostril pierced in 2017 because of Amanda Petula. That is like the most painful thing.
She looked great.
I'm not even kidding.
We always listen. I hate to objectify a woman, but when they look amazing in a bathing suit, I have to talk about it.
Amanda look amazing.
You know what scene I rewatch all of the time? It's when Amanda finds out that like Kyle may or may not have cheated on her because Lindsay's like, you have to tell her, and she's wearing that like gorgeous,
so hot.
She's wearing that like gorgeous, like kind of like orange nudish bathing suit, and she's like crying, and while she's crying, and the little fake eyelashes are all like wet, and she looks so good.
Her boobs
I think
are
Amanda's
huge,
gorgeous,
and I'm like, holy shit, how could you cheat on her? You know what I mean? Like, but then she speaks, and then I'm like, oh.
No, she's an idiot. But I like am so mad at her. And so I've watched clips of the reunion. My mom and I are watching it tonight. But in the city reunion. But like the way she just like doesn't care about Sierra makes me so angry.
So mad.
I don't understand what's wrong. I don't understand what's wrong with her. Like she's nuts.
I can't grasp this in my brain because
I can't figure it out.
We are mean people, me and Alicia. We're happily.
Oh, me too.
Like,
I hate people all the time.
We're in on it. And so, like, when someone's mean, I don't care if someone's mean. Like, stand on it and say with your full chest, like, also give me a show on reality TV if you're going to be mean. Amanda's being so mean while pretending she's the victim of this. And then every way she navigates this, I'm like, I don't get how you got here. And so I just can't even watch it and kind of like respect the game of it. Like I kind of respected Sandoval and Raquel's game when they had an affair. Like I saw it, I understood it. But like, Amanda, what are you doing?
No, and I think she's just like, what I think bothers me about her is like, I mean, it's, you know, there's so many things.
There's a million things.
Prior to this, her life could have exploded in like a wonderful way. Like she was primed to make so much money. Like I can't even, like, you know, they have people like that were speculating that some of her brand deals would be like low six figures. I was like, girl, how
more
could
than
you
that?
And I don't think that she'll come back from this. I actually don't. Like, I think people really, really hate her. And the way she's just like dug in with Wes, like, I don't think she'll come back from this. And like, I don't know what she'll do because I don't know what she's going to do in the future. She doesn't seem to read very well.
The recovery of it was never there. They didn't really try to make amends or like they're making a joke out of it every single day. And while they're getting attention off of it for sure, like their social media pages are crawling with views, but you can't really monetize that when you're that hated. Like Sandoval was never able to do ads. He had to go on his little band tour and people bought tickets as jokes, but Amanda doesn't have something like that to make money off of this. So you're just gonna like sit there and do what?
But also, I think like at the end of the day, right? She didn't apologize to Sierra. She couldn't take accountability. She was like the most horrible version of herself. Whereas Sandoval at least like tried to cry at the reunion, whether it was real or fake. He seemed sad. Like Raquel left the public eye completely to like work on herself. Then Sandoval was like, you know what, I'm going to go on Traders and make a fool of myself. Amanda can't do that. She cannot make a fool of herself. It won't be funny. It won't be likable. She's not likable.
Totally.
Sandoval has a little bit of like likability-ish.
Yes. He has star power.
I think I also think this has revealed to us that like Amanda might be the most lazy person I've ever seen in my life.
The way I feel bad.
I yelled at Kyle for years for calling her lazy. She is.
No, me too. You know, it's so funny too. I'm such a fickle person because as soon as this came out, I was like, Kyle should have been worse to her. Like, just being really crazy because I
won't say that.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
I couldn't know because like this is the thing that I think what In the City has revealed to us. She is so manipulative.
Yes,
like,
yes.
And like the way she's always making those faces at him, I'm like, okay, she was being a demon in the relationship
too. It's the grin.
We just watched the wedding episode where she flips him off mid Yvonne's speech about her husband and she flips off Kyle during it. And it's like, what are you doing?
No. And then when she's like mad at him for not being there the night before she moves out, you're moving out.
It was marathon day. It was marathon day that day.
New York City marathon day. Come on, girl.
I got home later than Kyle did on my Chicago marathon day. Like, babe, you partied the wee hours.
But also, like, just like the idea that she was working on Bravo for 10 years. The world is her oyster. She has 1 million followers on Instagram. And she's never done anything with it. It's just something I cannot forgive. You know, like, I just, like, don't understand that. Like, that's why I love Paige DeSorbo so much.
Yeah.
Because Paige hustled her little booty off. And and Sierra obviously is, like, hustling. Like, I just can't respect someone who just, like, rests on their laurels like that. And I'm not a fan, obviously.
I think it's probably for the better because before the West of it all, Amanda was slated to, like, get the Ariana treatment. But I don't think she would have been able to because she couldn't hustle.
She would have fumbled it.
She would have just not done anything.
Imagine her hosting Love Island. Like,
no.
God.
She'd be like, I have to wake up and get out of bed.
Or After Sun. Like, let's say she got Sierra's position on After Sun. Like, the tapes, the commentary she would have brought would have been so boring.
She's like really not a critical thinker, you know? And what's interesting to me about that is like, I hate West, obviously. I do think that West is a critical thinker. Like, I think he's a person like who like thinks about things, like wants to have interesting conversations with people. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I don't know.
No idea.
Okay,
my one wish, if a genie ever comes through to me, I need to be a fly on the wall to listen to the conversation that West and Amanda have. Where they're like, let's decide to do this and blow up our lives. Because I need to know what the conversation was. Because Amanda can't see past her own notes. But Wes is like smart and manipulative enough to be like, this could be bad for us. And so like what? And Amanda's not convincing. So how did we get there? I have to know.
No,
I have to.
I do too. And you know, like the whole... over all of this, like the one person, I had that wish, a genie granted a wish, I would want to talk to Frank Batula. And I would want to know, what does he think is, like, I really do, I agree firmly with the argument that, like, West is, like, Kyle, but, like, less ambition and less going for him. So I just don't understand.
Yeah. No, that would be a brutal thing to come home with a worse version. In a lesser relationship. You're leaving a marriage for a situationship. You're going from a guy who has invested and had multiple successful businesses to a guy who has a podcast. And listen, I have a podcast.
With a crazy girl.
But like,
with a transphobe. Come on.
I know. Yeah. He's such a monster. Like, I'm so sick of it.
Do you think Frank Batula would come on this podcast? Should we reach out?
Not at all. He is smart enough to never... But I want to send him, like, some flowers to be like, that's a rough go to be Amanda's dad this year and trying to give her critical advice as she's actively blowing up her own world.
I agree, but I also think that, like, Amanda, like, is clearly so coddled by her parents that I'm like, maybe they, like, don't even care. Like, I don't know. Like, if this happened to me, my parents, I don't even know what they would do. I don't know what bury me.
Are you
I don't
kidding?
Know. But, like, it's so crazy to me that no one intervened. And meanwhile, she has a brother. You know that?
Oh.
I always forget about him.
She has some like random older brother. Like, are you ashamed of your sister? This is crazy.
Older brother makes sense.
I would be so embarrassed if my sibling did this. I would literally have to put my head in the sand and
publicly denounce them. Publicly denounce them.
Or like Wes and his brother.
Yeah. Oh, I need to know what Wes's parents think, because remember at the reunion after
vocal.
he dissed Sierra, they were like, you really dropped the ball. Like, you're going to get a lot of hate.
But then I do think his dad is like a little spooky ooky, because remember Wes said that thing about his like dad being like crazy when he was young? I was like, yes, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to
and
me.
he like, he's so resentful also of his mom being the successful one. Like, that's how my family dynamic is. Like, my mom is the breadwinner of our family. And like, I can see the tension in that because of the societal tension that like a man's supposed to be the provider. And like, I can visualize it in his family, but like, what did he get in his growing up era with that? Because like, our family produced two really strong, independent women, and then my brother is very like strong and independent too, but like he isn't hateful towards us because of our success. Like, like I can't imagine. Like, I mean, my dad literally said that my brother's quiet because he had two domineering sisters, and I said, I know that's right. Like, of course. Sorry, I wouldn't be. Speak up louder.
No, so literally. Wes has a brother. Sorry, did I miss that? Does he have any siblings?
In Chicago.
And he kind of
that's right. They went to the wedding.
Yeah,
and he kind of looks like him. You know,
ugh, unfortunate. But okay, that explains then. There's clearly no older sisters in the house.
Yeah, I also think another shameful thing to say is that like prior to all of this, like Wes would have worked on me too. You know, like. It would have worked on me.
It did. I mean, I talked about this. We both posted separately about this, that like he weaponizes his also like liberal support in order to get the fans
his, like,
back on his
proximity
side.
To blackness. I hate that. It is literally psychotic the way he's like, yeah, I got black friends. Bad. I'm like, okay, this is really bad. You're from Montana, please. There are no black people.
He's from Missouri,
I hate him.
but he did go to college in Montana.
I
have to claim.
Both very white.
I'm from Missouri, and it's a stain on our reputation. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a stain.
It was already a stained reputation, so we're good.
It's so creepy. I remember when like he was flirting with Sierra in the beginning, and then he brought all of his black friends to that party for the first time. I was like, okay.
I fell for it. I fell for it. I was like, Meredith, I'm in love with him. This is my white guy.
He did it on purpose. No,
I love a white guy. I saw Creator. I need to find her and tag her in, because I've like written comments about it that said like he only has proximity to black men though, and no black women in his life, and that's so telling. Like he,
of course,
like feeds off of masculinity through black men and like props himself up off of that. But like you will never see a black woman in his little dumbies.
Oh God, I hate that. Grow up. Tom agrees. Grow up.
Look at it. Had to stand up for that one.
Yes, he did.
Oh. Well, this was great. Do you have any other like high key recommendations that we should read, watch, or listen to? Okay.
I have one more.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend reading Yesteryear. I read it last week.
I see that recommended everywhere.
It's on my list at the library. I'm waiting. I think I have 4 more weeks.
It took me like 3 months to get off the Yesteryear on Libby. It is so good. So the author used to like make a lot of content on TikTok. Claire Berg. You probably recognize her. She talked a lot about like trad wives. The book is so beautifully written.
So
she's not like a person. She's not like, you know, like an influencer decided to write a book. She's a writer who started posting on TikTok. It's so good, and it's like it's still so much a part of the zeitgeist that I would totally recommend reading, and you'll fly through it. It like I'd gone through a lull with reading, and it reignited my love of reading. And then I read Strangers by Belle Burden.
I'm also on the waiting list for that.
No, it's worth it. That one is like really crazy. It's like about a rich woman, and you know, rich white women are interesting, so that is really worth it too. I would, it's really like Housewives coded, actually.
Yeah.
So
it's a great recommendation.
Yeah, like it.
Okay, I'm excited because I feel like a lot of times I see like popular books and I don't even like look into what they're about. I'm just like put it on the Libby list and like I'll get to it in 9 weeks or whatever. So both of these are on my list and I'm so excited because I tell Meredith about all my books. And
I love it. Yeah, no, you'll love them.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh my God. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was so fun.
God, thank you. This
one of my favorites.
I love talking to other Bravo people.
I hope you enjoyed our episode. Reminder, do all the things I mentioned at the beginning. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.